All right, so we have our crab cakes already made. We're gonna saute those off now. So I typically like to use a non-stick skillet. These work the best. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil, maybe a couple tablespoons of oil, and 1 teaspoon of fresh butter. The reason why we're adding the butter is going to add definitely some flavor to this dish, to those crab cakes, and also it's going to help brown them up. So the reason why we don't cook with straight butter is butter has a low smoking point, so that'll burn before we get to saute it. So the mixture of the oil and the butter will let us cook at a pretty high temperature to sear these off, because we definitely want to get a good sear on it. You want to make sure your pan is hot before your crab cakes in there to get that nice browning, all right? So that pan is definitely hot. You can see I'm on like a medium to medium high. Just want to set that there for about 10 seconds, let it really get hot. And we got our spatula. I'm just going to slide these right in. And I'm only going to do 4 right now, and I'm just going to kind of pat these down a little bit. The reason why I'm only doing 4, I don't want to put that 5th one in there. I don't want to overcrowd the pan. Overcrowding the pan will bring down that temperature, so I won't get that nice sear on it, that nice browning. So I'm just going to do 4 at a time. We'll do that 5th one once these are done. So we're just going to let it cook. We don't want to touch it or move it around, because then it's going to start breaking. So let it do its thing. You probably want about 2 to 3 minutes each side. So once again, I got that medium-high heat. You just kind of see it sizzling. So it's doing its thing. So we're just going to let it sit and simmer for just another minute and a half. And then I'm going to show you a trick on how to flip these over and not burn yourself. Just grab a towel. You should always have a towel handy. So when we grab that handle, which we will in a second, again, we're going to give it about another minute. These cook pretty quickly, 2 to 3 minutes each side, and they're done. Getting a really good smell out of that. Getting all that fresh crab meat smell with that Old Bay and that lemon. Smells delicious. All right, so I can kind of see that it's forming kind of a crust on the bottom. We'll give it about 20 more seconds. Sizzling nicely. It's perfect heat that we want, that medium high. You don't want too low or too high. All right. So once again, make sure you have a towel so you don't burn yourself. So watch this trick. What I'm going to do is tilt my skillet so all the fat drips down to this end. Then I'm going to grab this one here and flip it so it doesn't splatter. So same thing. I'm going to grab this one, flip that over. And then same thing on this side. I'll tilt my pan down so all the oil comes down here. I'm going to give it a minute. Give that a good flip. And once again. So you see we got a really nice golden brown on there. That's exactly what we're looking for. Light browning. Going to cook it for about 2.5 minutes on this side, and then we are done. So let it do its thing. All right, don't want to move it around. You can see that fish is very delicate. We don't have a lot of fillers in this, so there's not a lot binding it together, because you want to taste the crab meat. You don't want it to be filled with fillers and things like that. So minimal amount of fillers in this. That's why you do see a little breaking, but that's perfectly fine, because you're going to make it up in that flavor profile. It's going to taste really good. So we got about another minute, and then we were done. You see how quickly these go. You can, same thing, do a sheet pan of these ahead of time if you have a dinner party. Put them on a sheet pan and then flash in the oven for about 2 to 3 minutes before your guests arrive. So you can pre-brown these and then finish them off in the oven once you get another 2 minutes. Right, so we'll take a look. I'm going to flip this over so you can see the other side. You can see we got that nice browning. So we're going to go ahead and take these out. All right, and we're going to go to plate up.